Funny, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the show. Look, we're in Halloween season. I'm getting flooded with the ads from Halloween Horror Nights and Screamageddon and Howl-O-Scream. And having been in the real estate business for as long as I have, I've pretty much seen it all. I've seen what I think are haunted houses. I've seen some houses that are really cryptic and weird that should be in a movie. But we get asked a lot, hey, what are the things that I have to disclose about my house? So I want to go through this really quick because the state of Florida says that we have to disclose what's called a material fact or a material defect, okay? So that is like a proven, visible, known thing that affects the property value or the property's condition. So some things that we don't have to disclose. The buyers can do their own due diligence on to determine if they want to deal with it. But number one, if the house is believed to be haunted. Now, there's not really ever been any factual consensus, bring the fact checkers in here, about whether or not, you can prove a house is haunted or not. Because of that, because of the inability to prove whether that even exists or is possible, it is not disclosable. In other words, if a seller thinks their house is haunted, that is not something required to be disclosed because it's not something that could be proven factually. Another one, if someone died in the home, if someone was murdered in the home, if a crime was committed in the home that doesn't affect the condition of the property. Now, of course, if the home was run as a meth lab or a cookhouse or something like that, then yes, that is something that could be impacting the environment of the home and would need to be disclosed. But if somebody got killed in the house, somebody got shot in the house, somebody died in the house, somebody had a disease in the house, those are things that do not have to be disclosed. As buyers, you can ask. There is not a requirement for the seller to disclose those things. So my recommendation is, Google the property address, look up who's owned on tax rolls, Google, search. If that is something that concerns you, then do your own due diligence because it's not going to be disclosed. It's not going to be in an inspection report. Of course, those things could certainly come up in an inspection, but because that does affect the environment and the condition of the home. The other things don't. So hauntings, if someone died there, if someone was murdered there, if a crime that didn't affect the condition of the home happened there, if a celebrity lived there, there's just a lot of things that people want to know sometimes that we either can't answer or the seller chooses not to disclose simply because it's not a material fact. So do your own due diligence on those things. Again, this is the time of year where everyone is a little spooked about, haunted houses and different things. And we have seen it all. I have walked in homes that were creepy that I thought were haunted. I've sold homes that later burned down that I felt were just creepy, weird houses. We've gone in homes and heard doors shutting and sounded like movement. We walked into homes with vagrants living in them. We've pretty much seen it all. But again, a material defect is what has to be disclosed, a material fact about the property that affects its actual condition of the property or the land. Same thing, neighbors. Do you have to disclose if a neighbor's loud and noisy or if a neighbor is a criminal? Now, there obviously is the sex offender registry that you as a consumer should look up and find out and do your due diligence about. But again, same thing. Those are not things that materially are affecting that specific property's condition. So again, if they know the guy across the street is crazy or been in an asylum, or if they know this or that about this neighbor, those are not material facts. So that's something else.